break for lunch. And then, oh, you already have some chips and things, don't you? Well, just a couple debriefing questions as we get back into it. If you want to look at the screen, what was interesting to you about the results of the Wheel of Life exercise? And secondly, what did you like about the way you were coached? What was helpful in the way that you were coached? So if we can get a couple, a little bit of feedback on Mike, that would be great. So what did you like about working through the, there we go. And do you have any questions about using the tool? What did you like about working through the Wheel of Life? What did you like about how your coach coached you? And do you have any questions about using this? Chris? Do you have something? Yeah, do you? You looked at me, man. Yeah. What's the question? Chris is thinking about his wheel. Okay, that was bad. I know Chris. I won't do that to everybody. So. All right, he's there. Which question? Two on the board? Or what'd you like about how you were coached? Use the mic, please. That was an order, wasn't it? Use the mic.
Well, my coach, she did a good job of just kind of, I basically gave my list, and she kind of took the first one and just kind of drew out the answer. My house is going to get appraised soon, so it's got to get cleaned. So that was my challenge.
Okay, that's good.
And she just kind of helped me through it. So
good. Kind of drew it out and helped.
Just think some things through and stuff.
Okay, good. Any questions about how to use the tool? What'd you like about how you were coached?
I thought the Wheel of Life exercise is good because it kind of narrows it down so you don't have to just be like off the top of your head, like, okay, what's most important? That really gives you a picture.
Good.
So it's good.
Yeah, so don't take it for granted. I get more structured with forms in my coaching as I go along because people are sometimes visual and it prompts, just like you say. One more. Any questions about how to use this? Okay, does everybody have at least one coaching goal at this point? Maybe 2 or 3 that you're considering? All right, I'm going to need somebody for a demo here in a few minutes, so psych yourself up if you'd like to come to the stage. Ryan's willing. I looked at Ryan for 2 seconds and his hand went up. It's just automatic. That's great, man. Okay, so this session is about SMART goals. We're going to review SMART goals, creating a coaching goal. And again, this is what do you want by when and how will you know? I want to be in New York by September 11th, 2014. How will I know? I'll look around. I'll be there. Done. That's it. Okay? So if in your coaching you get there really quick in a single sentence statement, you can use your time in being coached to create another goal. It's legitimate, in fact, encouraged to have more than one goal. No? Mary Jo says, my one goal is enough. Is that what you're saying? Okay, cut it off. The other thing you can do as a coach is to go ahead and do everything else around it. Okay, you can explore it. What will this mean to you? How did this become important to you? What is the purpose of this? Asking curious questions. Just see where you go naturally. And this will be the first time when you do this in triads that you give feedback to each other formally. So we're going to have plenty of time for this. Elements of a SMART goal, I want to make sure that you're familiar. This is on page 37 in your Coaching Questions book. There you go. It's specific, measurable. Let's do some examples. Specific. I want to find a place to be used in my church. I want to volunteer a night a week with my youth is more specific. What do you want? And that's where some exploration can come in. That's where, as a coach, you can come in. A person might say, I want to be more useful in my church. What do you follow up with? What are some questions you can ask to get more specific? In what ways, possibly? What are you drawn to? What needs are you drawn to? How have you served previously? This is where you begin to exercise your curious mind to help your client to become more specific. Measurable, how will you know? Often in coaching, it's a subjective rating by the client's scale of 1 to 10. I'm at this level with this, and my health, fitness, body weight, you can put a number on it. Strength, you maybe put some numbers on it. But a subjective rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I would be more fit as evidenced by feeling healthier, stronger, not getting cramps in my feet unexpected times. Ask Jim about that if you want to know more. So you're not going to let me come listen at your table anymore, are you? So it's attainable. It's within your capabilities. You control the outcome. Okay, for example, I want our church to really embrace evangelism this year. It's beyond your control. What's within your control? I want to share the gospel personally with 2 people each week. I'm going to ask the Lord to open those opportunities and to set the stage for me to share and have that kind of conversation. That's within your control. Okay, so attainable, within your control, within your sphere of control, which tends to be us, ourselves, and sphere of influence, constellation of relationships around us. We can try to influence, but the goal statement, you want it to be something that you have control over. Relevant. The question, how does this fit with your values? How is this relevant to other things that you're working on in your life right now? You hear goals around fitness, nutrition, health. People say, well, it's relevant because it's a prerequisite. I'm a public speaker. I'm on my feet. I travel a lot, have a demanding schedule, and I'm finding myself tired and worn out. That's the relevance of it. So you want to do a little probing around the relevance. And then time specific, by when, okay? Down and dirty, one sentence, again, it's what, by when, and how will you know? What do you want, by when, and how will you know? Okay. So, Ryan, I'm ready. Come on. You're the next contestant. Josh, I assume this is okay location for what you're doing? All right. So, Ryan, thanks.
Sir.
What are you drawn to as you think about goals to be coached on?
The immediacy of the one that's most prominent in my mind is our current situation of having to move. I have to get a house ready to move into. We sold our house, and then so I have to be out by a certain date. So I have a date, a goal date in mind, and I just don't know how it's all going to pan out because I have 5 kids, so we have to pack all of our stuff, get it moved into storage, take minimally what we needed to our temporary house that I need to fix up to get ready to move into while running my business.
Somebody else.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, fix me real quick, get me on the...
Oh, that's something easy.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
I've obviously thought it through on some levels, but it's still daunting. It's still a very...
First goal, and you run into this. This is real, okay? You can get lost in the complexity of it and feel like you got to do everything. Don't try to do everything. Don't do nothing because you can't do everything. Do what you can. We're starting with the goal in the coaching funnel. The ideal future, or the first thing you want. What do you want, by when, and how will you know? So what's first? What do you want to accomplish by when?
I need my house ready for us to move into by April 17th.
Okay, so the house you're moving into needs to be ready. How will you know it's ready?
when my wife doesn't freak out when she walks in.
Which leads to potential action steps, blindfolds,
Yep. Drugs,
drugs.
hypnotism, whatever it takes. I'll do it.
Oh.
This is a wonderful house. Yes. It's a small house. It's going to be fun. It's 1,100 square feet, but it's a stepping stone to build. So we're building a house. But I also need in this process to get apply for my construction loan. So that's a lot of work to get all my numbers together. I'm building my house, so I'm the contractor, and so I've got a lot to do.
See what happens when you're coaching. If your client is overwhelmed, you may start to feel overwhelmed. If they're confused, you may start to feel confused. Okay, but you're
Just being real.
as facilitator, you manage the conversation. You look back at the coaching funnel and trust the process. Trust the process and focus them back. Okay, that's a lot. And let's go back up to first. I'm a bad client to coach because I'll just go all over the place with lots of stuff. And Tony, I'd love you to watch Tony. He's like, okay, well, let's go back to, or let me pause you. Let's go back to, and you're just being polite. I heard you say this was real important. Let's go back to eat the elephant a bite at a time. House ready by April 17th. The measure, your wife, Alicia, will not freak out when she walks in and sees that things are not complete. Okay, in addition to the freak out factor, what do you have in mind? What's a picture for you of the house being ready?
Well, since the weather's now breaking temperature-wise, I can start doing the stuff I need because I don't have heat out there yet. I got to jack up a corner of the house, change out my service electric panel, and so I just got to get. I guess the biggest thing is getting my business, my regular jobs that I service my customers, with my crew over there going well, so that I can pull my other guys to help me get my house ready. So I have help. I just have to organize my schedule so that I can pull.
So I hear training comment, starting to talk about the how. I'm going to refocusing back. Ready by April 17th is evidenced by what? How will you know that it's ready? Not how you're going to get there.
I will know it's ready when there's very little to nothing left to do once I move in. Because
So I walk in with you and Alicia. Alicia doesn't freak out because she sees what?
Walls are painted,
There we go.
floors are done, kitchen's done.
Move in ready.
Move in ready.
All right.
Yep.
So in a sentence, say it in your own words.
We'll be moving in on or before April 17th to a move-in ready house with minimal stuff going into that house. The rest of it will be already moved into storage.
Shorter sentence. What do you want by when, and how will you know?
We'll be moved in. I want to be moved in by April 17th, and I'll know when I'm having my mail sent there.
This is going to sound picky, but I'll tell you the reason. Take the want to out of and state what will be reality.
We're going to be moved in and living in our house April 16th.
You'll be moving into a move-in ready house.
Yep.
By April 16th.
Correct. We are going to be moving into a move-in ready house by April 16th.
One more time.
We're going to be moving into a move-in ready house by April 16th.
Woo! All right.
All right.
How's that feel?
It's good.
That's powerful, isn't
Yes.
it? You're making a declaration of what will be.
Right.
And now Tony writes, God acts on that statement of faith. Watch it happen. Ooh.
Ooh, I'm going to be saying that a lot. All right.
All right.
Good
we're
stuff.
done. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Isn't this fun? All right. So you're going to have about 10 minutes each before lunch. You're going to coach each other. Do not relent for anything less than a one-sentence statement of what, by when, and how will they know. Okay? A little bit of feedback. What did I do to empower, to gain buy-in? What specific questions I ask, techniques what'd you notice? David's ready to run with Mike. Jim's ready with the other. Your mark gets set, raise your hands. Thank you.
I like that you kept taking him back and you kept making him focus. That's what I like.
Kept taking him back and making him focus. Yep, good. Folks can think that coaching is passive because you ask and listen and they control the agenda. You are not a passive facilitator of the process. You are responsible to working through the coaching funnel. Yes?
There was clarity in the goal. Both of you could visualize what he wanted.
So you notice asking a picture,
Right.
right? What will this look like? Quick tip, anybody know neuro-linguistic programming? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Yeah, get that. Okay, so if a person looks up, when you ask a question and you ask, what do you think about that? And they look up, they may more likely be visual in their memory and imagination. If they look on the horizon, it's more likely that they're auditory. And if they look down, kinesthetic and physical. So what do you see? What would you like to hear from Alicia? How will it feel? And moving around your house, what will that be like in moving around this 1,100 square foot? So you can match your questions with what you notice in the person that you're coaching. Because if you ask an auditory person what they will see, now there's a little bit of adjustment and frustration. And we're more likely to ask the kinds of questions that tend to be our style. Okay. A couple here are probably expert in that too. You can catch them at break and catch me if there's more to say. Sean.
I thought you did a really good job of continuing to keep it measurable. You kept on asking, kind of helping him drill down on what will that actually look like? How will you be able to measure success in that place or not?
Drilling down on measuring success. Yeah. Tenacious in a sense, right? I mean, what adjectives would you give to my manner in drilling down on that? Aggressive, tenacious, pressing in. Okay, right, good. And that can feel uncomfortable. If it feels uncomfortable to you to do that, apologize, do whatever. I'm sorry, does this make you uncomfortable? Are you okay with this manner? Get permission, but do what you got to do it, okay? Because if we don't get specific, it's a non-starter. You got to begin with the end in mind. You got to know where you're going. Are we going to New York or Florida or Paris or, what are you going to do in the house? Okay, anybody else with comment, question about what you're going to be doing? Okay, remember what David said about, David, do you have anything to add right now about process? Okay, 8 minutes. We're gonna do 8 minutes apiece. We're gonna give you notification, and then observer, you have 2 minutes to give feedback. Begin debriefing by the coach saying what they thought they did well and what they think they could do better, okay? So it's 8 minutes of coaching toward a 1-sentence SMART goal, and then when that time is up, observer has 2 minutes to ask the coach, what'd you think? What'd you think you did well? What would you like to do differently, or what would you like to improve? And then observer affirms to say, here's what, okay? And if you have time beyond that, ask the client what they liked. So let me rethink the time here. Yeah. So 8 and 2. One question, Dawn?
You said that the observer would clarify. Now, the observer is providing
Feedback.
feedback for what the dialogue was on what I liked and what I didn't like.
And the coach, not the content, but their technique. I thought you did this really well. Okay. So first the coach reports on themselves. I think I did this well. I think I could improve here. Then observer says, I think you did well with this, and I think this could be even better if you did
I prefer
this.
this more
Yeah.
over this. And then, okay.
Then if you have time, let the client give feedback to the coach about what they liked and what they would like different.
Okay. So,
Okay.
okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, you're on 8-minute timer, and this will get us done by noonish. We'll do a quick debrief, and then we'll release for lunch after at 12. got a little distracted. So in the first person's coaching time, if you've not yet begun to give feedback, take a couple minutes for feedback from the observer. Switch to your second coachee if you haven't already done so. give feedback to coach number 2 if you've not already done so. And after about 2 minutes of that, switch to the third coaching client. begin to give feedback to coach number 3.